Awesome. Cool.
Okay. Oh, I hate that.
Give it a shot.
Nope. One. Oh, nope.
That's okay. That's okay. That's the store right there.
Okay. No.
One store right there.
Yep.
Da,
Okay.
da, da, da. Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So.
Because that's where we stop, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Awesome. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay. You're too kind.
So, first thing for the rolls.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked at your hands, the stick was like jutting way out here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be easier if you pull that guy in
Mm-hmm.
and then control with the fingers. Because it's much harder to control with the fingers when it's out here because
Okay.
your hands have less. So you end up doing a pinch roll.
Okay.
Which that's what you don't want to do.
Okay.
But when the fingers have total control of the stick, they're able to control a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah, and you want to make sure you're applying pressure with the back fingers so that they stay on the stick. Yeah,
Okay.
it takes a lot of work to get to.
Okay.
Second, how did you like work through the rhythms on this?
Not very well that time.
Not very well?
No.
Okay, so when you're practicing,
So these, is that roll and then tap or?
yeah. So when if you were to take out the roll, basically you just have 16 notes.
Okay.
And so this first measure would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so when you try, because I know we talked about maybe rolling at a time, but for this, like, I wouldn't worry about that,
Okay.
especially if you're worried just about playing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just like break it down to like 16 notes. Kind of thing. And I try to tighten up the buzz a little bit so you could hear those 16 notes. But yeah, and then when it's tied to something, like tied to a note, you hit that note. I don't think we have any that doesn't tie over. No, we don't. So you're always going to end roll with a tap.
Okay. So. So that'd be like 2 8th notes. So it'd be.
So you have da 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 da.
Yeah, because those are on the off.
Yeah. Da 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 da.
Okay.
I would start those rolls with your right hand. That might be a little easier. I think you're adding an extra note, so you're going shit da 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 shit da da da.
Okay.
Da 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 da. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you end the roll, you want to make sure that you don't end with a buzz. Did you go?
Okay. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. So, really, I know you're a vocal major, so it's going to be good for you.
Yeah.
Singing through these parts is going to help you.
Okay.
Because like that's what I do, and that's what like most people are going to recommend if they really know what they're doing. But singing through your part is going to like help you so much because it doesn't require a pad, it doesn't require you to have sticks. Just flat. Just doing that is like that already helps you because you get in the mind of like this is where I'm going, this is the tempo, this is the rhythm kind of thing. Okay. But yeah, I thought everything sounded pretty good. Other than like the rolls, those are kind of shaky. But
the hand thing helps.
Yeah. And then make sure you change the dynamic right here. It is a slight dynamic change because you're going from mezzo forte to forte. It's not like you're going from like pianissimo, fortissimo. Okay. So what are you having the most trouble with?
The rolls were the biggest, I think, technical issue, and then I just lose the count sometimes because I'm too focused on trying to do whatever is right. So it's just doing it all at once. That's the problem because I can count it, I can do the things. It's putting them together. That's my issue.
So what you could do with that is when you practice, tap your foot. Okay. Because it's easier to take out a tapping foot and have the time like continue going on in your body than to just like try to automatically do it. Because like even when I'm doing something for the first time, just like even doing that, like it's gonna help you keep time. It's in 5/4, so it's not gonna feel like
that's probably the other part.
It's not gonna feel like that. But so yeah, I mean the only thing that you can really like help with that is just like repping it over and over again. I thought you sounded a lot more comfortable. Oh yeah. And your flames sounded pretty good.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. But when you're playing, you want to make sure, because you start to like kind of separate the sticks a little bit, and you're gonna get two different sounds. So it's important to like bring them pretty close together, as close as you can, without hitting them, obviously. So you just want to like start from the top and see how far you can go. You don't have to take it like at tempo, just like. And then if the rolls sound super like buzz, 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 tap, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. Something that you might want to watch out on the flames a little bit is that your first one kind of sounded like that the notes are a little bit too far together, and so you could hear like what's called a flat flam. I don't know if you want to know that. Yeah. So you kind of want that. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, that was pretty good. You want to make sure on these like eighth note rolls, I really could notice it. You're like kind of like. Da-da-da, da-da-da,
just trying to get it in.
Da-da-da. Yeah, that's okay at first. We want to try to like take out the emphasis, so it's za, za, da, za. Okay. Really like feel that relaxedness. Yeah, that was pretty good. And then you could even emphasize that dynamic change a little bit more. I couldn't really hear it last time, and then obviously this one too. Right. But yeah, I thought that was sounding pretty good. Okay. Yeah, just like. So. Yeah. I mean like. Yeah. Okay. For like your first semester playing percussion. Okay. Yeah. I have to keep reminding myself you're as good as a fifth grader. That's what you have to be. That's what we don't expect you to be like experts at this stuff. We just expect you to be like, okay, I can know what's going on. I expect you to be the expert. Yeah. Nothing's stopping you. Let's see what my schedule. Time. 7:14. Oh, cool. So we still got 20 minutes. You want to keep working on this or go to marimba? I want to go to marimba because that's the one I know I can probably do
very well.
That doesn't sound too bad. So we might come back to it.
Okay. Yeah, I crushed him on the way over here.
That's okay. All right. So are we doing the roll one or the?
Let's do the top one. Let's go through. Can we go through both of them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you worked on these at all, or?
I have. It's been like a week since
Okay,
I have, but
that's
I
fine.
did. I did too, so it's okay.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. What I would do is make sure you write in your stickings.
Okay.
That's gonna help you out quite a bit.
Okay.
Especially with the notes. Okay, I was playing it right. A little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So for the first time, as it says, you're gonna want to take it down the first one. So. Yeah, that was really good. What are you doing for sticking on right here?
I was going right, or left, right. Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing the same? Are you doing that same sticking for that one and that one? Oh, okay. I thought I saw you do a double.
I might have done a double.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do is that.
Yeah. That's exactly the sticking I would recommend.
Okay.
I worked through this with Eli already, and so going in that is a lot easier than.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that sounded pretty good. What I would do more with this one is just like don't just play the notes and kind of like add in some like expression and phrasing. So the one that Dave and I probably will agree on is really like bring out that E. Okay. How was that for singing? Pretty good. All right, do you want to run the whole thing again?
Sure.
Or? Okay.
And then do you want me to do it the second time?
Yeah, let's repeat it. And then really like beef it up. 1, 2, 3, and what should we do? Yeah, so first,
I skipped it wrong and that.
I don't see a grand pause right there.
I have to come down here.
No, okay. So this, so this bottom line is me.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's just saying dynamic. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I switch? Okay. Okay.
I understand your confusion. I'm like, is he gonna go?
I'm just like, are you gonna?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That's pretty good. You want to give the roll one a shot?
Sure, and I'm rolling everything on it, right?
Do we decide if we're going to roll?
It says roll all notes, so.
It says roll all notes again. Yeah. And then.
How do I loosen up? Because it hurts after
You loosen up.
Okay.
So usually for me, relaxation starts at the shoulders and the back. Drop everything down. Like we were doing pad, just bring it up. And then think of the roll as just a wrist motion. But something that, like when I teach my middle schoolers, something that I see a lot of times that they try to control the roll too much. And so it'll end up being, which might be good on the highest C, but like when you get down here, it's all just like pulling out of the bar. Letting the mouths do the work is like the key to being relaxed. Okay. Can you start upping onto it? We're in G. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Let's just do this like first phrase. Whatever that is. Sing it. Why are you articulating with duh?
I don't know. That's my
Because when you say duh, you're kind of like emphasizing like a re-articulation.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Whatever it is, kind of just like how you would sing it, but without like re-articulating every note. That's how you should kind of roll it, so it sounds like. Give that a shot. Can I see you roll? Okay, so what I would do is try to get lower to the bar, because you're kind of like, you're being more relaxed, which is good, that's what we want.
Okay.
But try to open up the space between your thumb and your forefinger a little bit more. Yeah. And then increase the roll speed a little bit without tensing up. Yeah, because with this one, like, your loudest dynamic, which is probably right here. I mean, at that point, you're going to be like... But like for right now, like when you get to that like high F, just like as fast, not as fast as you can go, but like as controlled, and you want like the bar to hum still. But when you get there, just like let it out. So. So what I would worry about with this section, with this piece, is that the first part sounds really good. It's really nicely connected. You know, that part sounds good. But then as we get to this spot, I kind of hear more of like a which is very like controlled and almost like. So what I would do is instead of thinking of it as 1 and 2 and just like let the mouths go. But you can this whole song is more this whole option, this whole excerpt, there we go. Okay. It's very like free flowing, and so it's not going to be like bum, 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 bum. Okay. So very like expressive, because I'm just going to end up following you either way. Okay. Because this isn't my show, this is your show. Okay. Right. Let's start from right here. Let's start these first couple bars. On you. Keyboard, okay. And I'm trying to play like in this octave as much as possible, so I'm not going too low with these mouths. Okay. But yeah, that was a lot better. It's important to like connect things and like feel the expression a little bit more. So which one do you feel more comfortable with?
Definitely the first one.
Definitely the first one.
Yeah, but that's because I know I can do that one.
Okay. Sure. So, want to work on that one a little bit more then? Or?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Relax when you get loud too, because it sounds kind of like, I can't think of the ballet.
Oh, Nutcracker?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If a Nutcracker would like pick up some mouths, you don't want to go.
Okay.
Because it still should be like relatively connected, but it shouldn't be like top, top,
okay,
top, 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 top.
Okay,
let's give it another shot. Just the second time through. Yeah, that was a lot better. Yeah, and like with the phrasing, like especially like in these two bars, it's actually sounded really good. Especially the because there's like a little bit of like a decrescendo right there. Okay. So it's very like an ending point. But yeah, that sounds pretty good. I just gotta play better so I can match up to you. No, yeah, I really like the phrasing, especially when you're going up on the keyboard. You get a little bit louder, and then you come back down and kind of eases into place. So that's really good. Yeah, everything is sounding pretty good. Yeah, but just like keep working on like being relaxed and like the analogy I kind of oh yeah for everyone. Like how I would kind of like put an analogy to it is like when you're in boxing, you don't punch your target and then pull back. You always punch through it. Okay. It's like the same thing for marimba, like as if you were to like hit through it, but you have to be as relaxed. If you tense up, then you're gonna hit it, freeze, and then come up. Okay. Which is not what you want to do. Okay. So we have a couple minutes left, I think. Yeah, we got 3.5 minutes. Okay. So I don't know if you want to work on snare drum.
Probably the best option.
Sure. Yeah, that's not good. But and singing through this is also gonna help, especially like phrasing and then really like feeling how connected it is.
This one's easier for me because it's pitched and I can see where it's supposed to go.
Yeah. Plus, like if you already have experience on piano, usually it's like significantly easier than pieces of wood.
Did something get turned off on this?
Yeah. How do we turn it on?
Oh gosh, it's this, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Awesome.
There we go.
What are these called?
That's moon gel.
Yeah, perfect. You're on a roll.
Something like that. I don't know how to do that.
All right. Cool. So do you want to work on this stuff a little bit more? Or do you want to work on doubles?
Yes.
The drags? You want?
Yes.
Okay.
Can
cool.
you show me?
Yeah. So we talked about the two ways of doing it: drags and roughs.
Yeah.
And one is, and the other one is. Okay. And so for this one, I would just do a double stroke. So for this first measure, it's going to sound... And so it's just like a really fast stroke, and then I apply pressure as soon as the stroke happens to get a double out. I'll just do like a... All right, now get a bounce. Now snap with the fingers. Yeah, and then after you, I can do it with my left hand, that's better. After you snap with the fingers, catch the stick. Okay. Yeah, you want the fingers to stay attached. Pull out a little bit more, might be easier. Put that guy in the center. There we go. Yeah, because you want ultimately the motion you're going for. If you look at my fingers. That's like a really slowed down version of it. Okay. I think. Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of work, but it's just like feeling the bounce. And then once you get faster. You want it. Basically, the idea is to get one wrist stroke, but with 2 notes. Because if you look at my wrist, that's a double stroke, but with 2 single strokes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's just a matter of controlling it.
1 wrist, 2 strokes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I knew there was one thing that was gonna click, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the only way to practice double strokes is by doing them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's funny about that. So when you end up doing the rough or the drag, you're basically doing a flam, but instead of the single grace note, you're doing a double. That's okay. Yeah. And you just want to control it to make sure that you get da-da-da. Yeah.
So I gotta use my right hand, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really difficult concept. It took me years to get good at it.
I had 14 weeks, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that
as long as you don't, if you have students that play percussion, as long as you don't like teach them to pinch right here. Because if you teach them to pinch right here, they're not going to be able to execute. A lot of high schools did that. My high school did that. So I spent the last few years undoing that.
So what is what are the benefits of this versus whatever?
So, match grip is more accepted, and it's because basically you're taking technique that's in the right hand and applying it to the left hand, and that's really helpful. I mean, we use it on marimba,
right?
We can use it on timpani. To us, it's universal because like we even use it on marching drums too.
Okay.
But
I know the traditional.
there aren't as many benefits to traditional that I find that it's actually harder to control.
Okay.
But if you're playing, say you're playing in our pipe band, then like the drums are going to be tilted because it is a traditional thing, and so you're always going to play like this.
Okay.
But it's because the drum is tilted, and so if I were to tilt this one. And this is, back to when drums were on slings.
Oh, okay.
So people couldn't really control it. If I were to play match, my left hand would have to come up and my right hand has to come down. A little bit harder, but if I were to play traditional...
Okay, so the right hand is staying the same. Okay, that's what I didn't get. Okay.
Yeah, this is traditional because it's traditional, and that's
it.
Mainly the only reason you're going to use it. But this is match because...
So teach this if I end up having to teach it.
Yeah, if you see this, you're probably only going to see this in like marching band because some high schools be like, it gives you better like visual stuff for, like whatever, some stupid stuff. I've seen it. We did that in high school one time.
Okay.
It's really stupid. But I don't like teaching traditional on a flat drum head, and Dave and Zer will both agree because basically if you teach traditional on a flat drum head, you have to alter the grip to make it work.
Okay.
And I mean, to me, like you shouldn't have to alter your drum alter your grip to make anything work. You should just be able to make it work. Okay. So if it's like this, you either have your left hand, which comes way at an angle, so you're going to get two different sounds, or you're going to drop the left shoulder to make it so that the stick can actually be flat.
Yeah, and that just gets exhausting, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially when like you have like, 25, 30 pound drum on and you've been marching for a couple hours, like this can get kind of annoying. Unless you have an altered harness, which they started making a few years ago. Okay. But, yeah, so that's the difference between traditional and match. We probably won't learn traditional in this class because it's not.
Yeah, he said we weren't going to. That's why I asked here, like, what are the...
Yeah.
So really, there's only one benefit to it, and that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's other benefits too, but
for our cases.
Yeah, for like high school and middle school, I would just teach match. Unless it is like a special case scenario where like, oh, we've always marched traditional and our drums are like tilted, then I'd be like, okay, fine, I'll let it slide. And sometimes people use it on drum set too. I used to play drum set traditional, but
you know what? If I have to teach a marching band, what grip they choose to do is going to be the least of their worries.
Well, who knows? Maybe you'll end up striking over one. You'll be like, oh, I remember Jake and
well, it'll be good. It'll be good. That's why I took this. It's the most applicable, and it's the most that I needed help with.
Yes. But cool. We're over time.
Okay.
Only by 5 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah. Good lesson. You came really prepared. So that's awesome.
Oh, I'm glad.